What's going on, guys? My name is AK, back again with another YouTube video. Now in today's video we'll be going through the spawns on Berlin hardpoints. We're going through all of the hardpoints, where the spawn locations are, and a little bit about the spawn logic, and hopefully this one is going to help you guys out. I think it really will. We'll be going through all of the hardpoint maps in the coming days, sort of as and when I've got days off work. I'm going to be recording them and putting them out, so hopefully you guys are going to find this sort of series of videos helpful. That being said, drop a like if you do find it helpful. Let's get straight into it. So here we are on Berlin. As you can see, we've got the whole map here. We'll be going through each of the hardpoints sort of individually. We're on TAC Maps, by the way. If you haven't seen this software before, used it a whole load last year. It's really good. You can download it on the Windows Store, I believe. Just look for TAC Maps. There'll be a link in the description if you want to grab it for yourself. But starting off with P1, which is the sort of the top of the train station bit in here. The main spawn points are going to be sort of towards this back court bit here, sort of towards P4. You've got the back of P3 as well, and then the sort of alternative spawn locations are down on sort of lower docks and also towards the outside of the train. So the way these are color coded, if the enemy is spawning at this red location, you'll be spawning at this location, and then vice versa with the blue as well. So most of the spawns are sort of close towards that side of the map. Ideally, or sort of the spawns that you want for this off the start is actually towards this side, the blue team. I believe that is blue in game, so in the lobby make sure you're on the blue team sort of loading in, and that will give you the sort of the favourite spawns, because you will get to this P1 a lot quicker than the people that spawn on the other side do. So that way you can get a setup, you can be watching these long corridors, you know, people push on the stairs, and sort of also the close stairs by here. You can get set up, you can have a person watching the push in from the door as well. In general, you can get a setup on the hill, you can watch that nice and easily and don't have to worry about sort of trying to have to retake the hill off the bat. I'm sure if you guys play Tuscan as well, you know one side's very favoured for that. We'll go over that on the Tuscan video, but basically these are the spawn points for P1. Moving on to P2, the main spawn points are actually in P3, and also you get spawn points again just in front of P4 here. Just for note, P2 is this one here. We'll just highlight that there. And then on the other side of things, the main spawn points, or the sort of primary spawn points, are actually in the back over here. Most people will sort of run out there to get to the hill from the back. So these are the main spawn points. Again, if you're spawning at the P4, that's quite nice. You do get the cut off from the back, but ideally, if you want the favourable spawns, it's best get a guy set up on the boxes. One of your AR players there on there, and then they can watch sort of the street push. This is what I like to do, is where I always aim for on P2. You can watch the docks push, you can watch the low docks push, and also anyone that sort of tries to peek you and fire, they often jump out onto this tank here to try and play the front. You can't watch the front, but it certainly takes off a lot of the positions that your other teammates will have to watch, so you get this essentially the whole of this side door and also the pinch around to the spawn. So get a player set up at the back there if you've got spawns. If you don't have spawns, send a player to try and kill whoever's there, or if there isn't someone there, try and take control of that, and that will sort of help you with securing the spawns at the back. Moving on to P3, the main spawn points are towards the lower dock side there. You've also got one at the close back of P3 and down the low bottom bit of P1. On the other side of things, again, you've got the P4 spawns, that sort of close front, and also in bottom of the trains building as well. They're the main spawns for this one. Of course, ideally, you want the back docks or this sort of P3 spawn here. That comes with having control of the back spawn here. Ideally, have someone set up on that little head glitch there. It's a nice one. You get to watch the whole of the dock side push up, and that way, teammates in the hill only have to watch the fire push and the push from P1 side. So, basically, that's what you want. You want someone set up in the back there to lock down those spawns for you. If not, definitely make sure you're watching the train side. A lot of the spawn points are over towards this side of the map. I believe actually this spawn point can be both, as in you can spawn here when you're in control of the hill, and you can also spawn here when you're not. I find personally most of the time it's when I'm not in control of the hill. Let me know what you guys feel about that, or sort of what you've seen from personal experience. But yeah, most of the spawn points are going to be down towards this side of the map. So anyone that really is hitting that dock side is going to be trying to make a play to actually do that. Moving on to the P4. Now, there's actually a lot of spawn points for P4. The first one is in the back of the trains. You've also got one on the outside of the sort of the back rail bit there. You've got in fire, and you've also got on the court just outside P3 there. So a lot of spawn points on that side, and then on the other side you've got the back spawn, and you've also got the bottom trains as well. So A little bit harder to predict the spawns on this one. If you have sort of locked down this side of the map, you can normally expect that the spawns are going to be towards this side. The train side spawn only really happens when the hill is sort of flipping control, or very, very closely contested at least. And then if you know that you're spawning down the bottom here, you can then sometimes assume that they are spawning up there as well. These two are sort of linked together. If you're spawning here, they're spawning there. So as you come out, watch that cross, and also make sure that you call if you have anyone in the back spawn set up here. A very powerful position to be set up here. They can watch the back spawn, so even if it's the train spawn or the back spawn, that player can lock that down and pick up those kills. So get someone set up at the back here, that's a big one to play. But otherwise, the main spawns, if you're spawning out for this hill, are going to be fire. They're going to be sort of that courtyard, that plat, and then again, you're going to have to expect the push through P5 and also through trains as well. Quite easy to hold if that is the push. A lot of players you'll see start to try and hit round, actually flank the back, try and secure these either train or sort of deep back spawns, and from that can help you actually hold the hill, and then also makes sort of rotating to P5 a little bit easier. I think holding P5 from sort of this side of the map is easier than holding it from this side of the map, so having sort of control of P4 at the end, I personally find quite helpful. And lastly, we have the P5 that we just mentioned there. So you've got the sort of the train spawn there. Again, you've got the back spawn and fire. And then again, on the other side of things, you have the court, and you have also sort of the front of the warehouse here. Now, I like this front warehouse spawn. It's nice and close on my personal favoured side for this hill. I quite like that one. The only problem with that is it does make rotating to P1 a little bit harder. That's what happens towards the end of P5, so try and flip the spawns towards the end of P5, because remember, if you remember what I said off the start, you want that side. That helps you lock down the P1. It's easier to hold it from that side than the other one, again, in my opinion. So try and get that locked down. Sort of, or certainly flipped towards the end, but while you're not doing that, make sure you've got this side of the spawn if you can. But I think that just about covers everything for Berlin HARDPOINT. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, be sure to drop a like. As I said, I'm going to be bringing all of the spawn videos for all of the other maps, hopefully out in the next week or two, so stay tuned for them. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss them. But thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.